It started from a conversation between academics at City and people in Unruly media. They started to do research together, sparked ideas off each other.
Paul Curran said, what can we as a university located in the heart of Tech City do to help Tech City? And at that point I remember saying, you should do what you do best, which is educate and help people to learn and teach them new stuff. And Caroline came back to me and said, do you know what, we'd be really keen to set up a pop-up university. And that is when City Unrulyversity was launched.
We are kind of trying to fill that gap of providing really good actual education where students learn something quite concrete in the sessions that they can apply just to help them generally be more successful with their startup, because the more the better in the end.
This will be a very practical session with basic models that young entrepreneurs can use to define their brand. It would be great if startups like the toolkit, and I maybe get the opportunity to work with startups on a one-to-one level and maybe then develop with them the next Facebook or Instagram.
I just really like coming along and listening to everybody else's ideas and their experiences and just really immersing myself in the entrepreneurial cohort, really.
And next week, as Caroline said, we will have your presentation, so you're going to use a toolkit and prepare a brief brand pitch presentation.
Each of us spent about an hour with each group, and we discussed what their plan was for the following week. And today the students presented their work, and we got some really interesting presentations.
So I've been working on the brand, and that's something I was working on the product all the time and not the brand itself. So it's actually made me think about it a little bit more to say, what does this brand mean and what am I trying to get across? What you find is people are going towards a payment system in this store which is fixed, and I've seen this with a couple of stores, especially the one I've worked for, but they haven't gone for mobile devices yet.
It's really well integrated, so you have like a group participation kind of stuff, but yeah, it's heavily involved. It's not like a teacher environment, it's very much like a partnership.
Because you're actually practically working on something, I think that the sessions are really beneficial for anybody who is at whatever point in their startup journey.
I'm really hopeful for the next one, which is going to be about the legal trademarking of the logo and the brand. So I think it's going to be really helpful to me.
There's some other people who've got a more business perspective and are more used to thinking about business goals rather than user goals, and they're probably coming along to find out a bit more about why they maybe should care about doing user research. In a particular round of testing to test a particular bit of functionality, somewhere around 4 or 5 people is usually enough, but that would probably assume that you're going to do more than one round of testing.
I think there's actually a wider application for people who are generally interested in the subject matter, whether or not they come from a startup background or just to have some kind of link to the subject matter or curiosity.
They're very passionate, and when you're trying to set up a business, it's quite easy to get a bit, like, oh God, this is taking forever. And when you've got other people that are passionate, it keeps you going.